Hello and welcome to this math lesson. It's lesson 2, equations with variables on both sides of the equation. Right. Now in grade 8 you've been dealing with equations where there was only a variable on one side of the equation. So for example, x minus 1 is equal to 5. Something like that. Something very simple. Now in grade 9 you're going to be dealing with cases where there's an x on the left hand side as well as on the right hand side. Right. Now, so for example, 2x minus 1 is equal to x plus 4. Now, you're going to be able to do that type of equation now in this lesson. All right, now, to solve these equations, you're going to need to do the following. Step 1, move over all the x's to the left-hand side and all the numbers to the right-hand side. So in other words, what happens is you're going to group all the x's to the left and all the numbers to the right. Now remember, if you're moving over, remember you need to worry about where to change the sign. So if you move an x over to the left-hand side, you have to change its sign. If you move the number to the right-hand side, you have to change its sign as well. Then you're going to need to add the terms together. So all the x's on the left-hand side you have to add together. All the numbers on the right-hand side you're going to need to add together. Now, what will happen is that when you do that, it now becomes a very simple grade 8 equation you can solve, because it will become something times x is equal to another number, which you can easily solve. All right, so let's look at a simple example of equation with this. I'm going to use the same equation I just used over there. 2x minus 1 is equal to x plus 4. Now, let's have a look at this one. When you look at that, you'll notice that I'm going to move this x to the other side and the minus 1 to the other side. Now remember, if you move this x to the left-hand side, it now becomes minus x. If you move the 1 over to the other side, this minus 1, and it becomes a plus 1 on the other side. So it basically then looks like this. 2x minus x is equal to 4 plus 1. So notice the 2x stays 2x. The minus 1 became a plus 1 on the other side. The x became a minus x on the other side. And then the 4 stays 4. Right, now let's see. 2x minus x is 1x or x. 4 plus 1 is 5. Right, so that's basically what you're going to end up doing a lot of in this lesson, is basically moving an x over to one side, a number to the other side as well. Right, let's go on to example 2. 3x plus 5 is equal to x minus 3. Let's have a look. Over here, you're going to move the 5 over to the other side, becomes minus 5. We're going to move the x over to the other side, becomes minus x. So it becomes 3x minus x is equal to minus 3 minus 5. Now notice the 3x stays positive, the minus 3 over here stays negative. So all we're doing is just moving that and changing its sign, and as well as that number and changing its sign. Now, 3x minus x is 2x, minus 3 minus 5 is minus 8. Over here, we got 2x is equal to 8 minus 8. Now, that is a grade 8 equation you've dealt with already. All you do there is you simply divide by 2. So 2 divided by 2 is 1. Minus 8 divided by 2 is minus 4. Example 3. 4x plus 3 is equal to 5x minus 1. Now, let's have a look. Over here, we're going to move the 3 over to the other side, becomes minus 3. You're going to move the 5x over to the other side, becomes minus 5x. So it looks like that. So we're going to say we're going to say 4x minus 5x is equal to minus 1 minus 3. 4x minus 5x happens to be negative 1x or negative x. Minus 1 minus 3 is negative 4. Now, in this case, we're going to divide by minus 1 on both sides. So we're going to say negative 1 divided by 1, negative 1 is 1. Negative 4 divided by negative 1 is 4. All right, now, sometimes you're going to need to deal with the cases where you've got brackets involved. All right, also with fractions, we'll do that in the next lesson. Okay, but I'm going to do 2 examples with brackets involved. Right, the first one. 3 times x minus 4 is equal to x minus 2. Right, here, we're going to simply sort out the 3 and distribute it in first. And then we're going to follow the whole process again. All right, so basically you'll find that all we're doing in this whole section of work on equations is we're simply building up from what we already know from grade 8. Okay, so all the grade 9 stuff you're doing, we're just basically building on from grade 8. All right, so let's see. 3 times x is 3x. 3 times minus 4 is minus 12. So we get 3x minus 12 is equal to x minus 2. Now, let's move the x over to the other side and the minus 12 over to the other side. So we get 3x minus x is equal to minus 2 plus, remember this becomes a plus on this side, plus 12. 3x minus x is 2x, minus 2 plus 12 is equal to 10, sorry. 2x is equal to 10. Now remember, divide both sides by 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1, 10 divided by 2 is 5. So x is equal to 5. Example 5. 2 times 3x plus 4 is equal to 3x plus 2. Once again, we're going to say 2 times 3, 2 times 4. So it becomes 6x plus 8. Okay, remember 2 times 3x is 6x. 2 times 4 is 8. So we say 6x plus 8 is equal to 3x plus 2. All right, now let's move the 3x over to the other side. The 8 over to the other side. Remember, they changed their signs. So we're going to say 6x minus 3x is equal to 2 minus 8. Right, 6x minus 3x is 3x. 2 minus 8 is minus 6. Remember, if you're not able to do the additions and subtractions, you do have a calculator available. Use it. All right, divide by 3 on both sides. 3 divided by 3 is 1. Minus 6 divided by 3 is minus 2. All right, now your homework for today. You're going to need to solve each of these equations. Now remember, we're going to use all what we've been talking about in this lesson to be able to solve these. So basically move all the x's to one side, all the numbers to the other. When there's brackets involved, first take out the brackets and then do the process. You'll see for number 7, you have to do the brackets twice. So you're going to do the brackets for 2x, the 2, and the x minus 3, and then over here for the 3 and the x minus 2. Okay,